Hello, I'm Luke Brailer, and today I'm here to talk to you about Hurricane Irma. But before we start, what is a hurricane? A hurricane starts out as a tropical storm when cool winds from the ocean meet the warm water of the ocean that causes a spiral and causes it to pick up more water from the ocean and also rain. And as it gathers more water, it starts to grow. And once it passes the tropical storm stages, it becomes classified as a hurricane. A hurricane is categorized into 5 groups. Category 1 being the smallest type of hurricane, and Category 5 being the biggest and doing the most damage. Before the storm happened, the news was that the hurricane was starting to form around August 2017, and that's when the precautions really started, because not even 2 months before this, Hurricane Harvey devastated the Texas area, so everybody was already on edge about hurricanes. Also, before the storm, grocery stores were starting to sell out, and gas stations were getting packed for people getting ready to prepare for the storm and make their journey up US Route 1, being the only highway in the Keys, to get out of the Keys. Also, before the storm, people had to board up their houses, make sure that everything was secure before they left because they had no idea when they'd be allowed back in. The immediate damage of the storm happened before it even made landfall, with wind speeds up to 70 miles an hour, which uprooted trees and flipped boats that were on land. It even knocked down some of the boat racks that are all around the Keys. Also, once it did make landfall, it did decrease to a Category 4 storm, but that did not make much difference because it still leveled many of the houses there. Many of the restaurants and companies down in the Keys have palm tree type roofs on their buildings, and almost all of these were completely wiped out by the storm. So after the storm, all of these companies had to hire and rebuild their roofs. After the storm, the damage was very severe, and it made the Keys look almost like a third world country, according to my father, who was there as soon as they reopened the bridges to get back down there. Many of the people, also after the storm, the CDC reported that there was 134 deaths, and a lot of these deaths were people who could not get out of the Keys, or people who believed that the storm was not going to be as severe as it was and just refused to leave. Also after the storm, before the bridges were open to US Route 1, it was about 3 weeks before the federal government let anybody back into the Keys. So the families were left to wonder what was really happening down there and what was left of their homes. The struggles of today still are impacting from the storm in 2017, and it has almost been 2 years since it has hit. Shown here in the picture is Sombrero Beach on Marathon, Florida. And this beach is still under construction today, and it was only about half open to the public because a lot of the FEMA support money that is supposed to be given to the Keys by the government has still not been given. So lots of public parks are still not open completely to the public. And lots of other places, such as the Turtle Hospital and aquariums, are still not how they were before the storm due to the lack of funding by the government to get everything back up and running. Also, the struggles of today are that there are a lack of workers on the islands because there's a lack of skilled laborers on the islands. Most of the laborers really include immigrants from Cuba, and even then, there's still not many that are back in the islands. But even with all the struggles still going on today that people are having, there's still a sign of hope in the Keys. One of these signs of hope was found very soon after they opened the bridges for people to return to their homes. Shown here is a picture of Fred the Tree, as he is named, and when coming back down, he was seen on the old 7 Mile Bridge where he's been for years, and nobody knows how he got there. But returning after this storm and seeing that something so brittle and so frail could still remain intact after such a tragedy was a sign that there's still good things to come for the people who live down in the Keys. And even after the storm, there are things to learn, and they could be better prepared, and for the next time when it happens, it will not be as severe because we will be more prepared for it, and there will be hope and prayers for everyone who lives down there. Thank you.